Hey, we're live
I guess we're live.
from Revere Beach.
Hello, can you hear us now?
2014 Revere Sand Sculpting Festival.
All right, it's that time again, Debbie. After a whole week of, from last Friday, a week ago Friday, when the sand was delivered to now, and all the sand piled and the sculpture's been created. Here we are in front of the stage where the awards are going to be given quite soon.
Absolutely, and and we are live. We have people walking in front of us. Our bodyguards are now clearing our
station to kind of keep a path for us as we go on.
And
so, what do you think?
Well, I was just saying we walked through the sculptures, and we've been asking everybody, and it was hard to decide this year.
Yeah, I had a couple, one in particular, and the one I told you about, I think it was the True Love, about the mother and the daughter. I mean, that one, when I saw it, it just like hit me right here. It was incredible.
And you know something, I keep going back to Joby, and I hate to do this because I know he's a 5-time winner, but it was war. My heart tells me otherwise.
Yeah.
And that's the one that got me. It was a robot, but he looked like a robot who had been wounded.
Yep.
And we're on this, we're on...
There's war and
it's all
right,
over the
everywhere,
place,
right.
and the armed forces, and it just kind of hit home for me.
Yeah.
So
well, and it's the work. It's not only the quality of their work and all of that stuff, but also the message that goes along with it. And we're gonna stop right here and let the announcer.
Going on at 7 o'clock tonight.
Hold on 1 second. We'll come right back to you.
We're gonna have a ceremony.
All right, so there you have it. Commercial break.
what we were talking about too was, I really wasn't sure who did the judging.
Oh, okay. So you didn't realize that the competitors actually judge themselves.
I didn't realize that, and they do judge each other's.
Yep. And they actually have a form. They all have criteria, and they go in and they basically give each one a number, based on the criteria. And they don't judge their own individual pieces. They judge everybody else's, but their own.
Right, and then we do a crowd favorite. Am I correct?
Yeah, and then there's ballots for the People's Choice, I think it's called.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And
so going back to them, like I said, my favorite, was the mother and daughter one, and that was Mélange Beauregard. And I remember talking to her earlier this week, and she said she had her daughter. And when we were asking them all what influences them, and she said, well, my daughter's with me. I think I'm going to do a mother and daughter one.
Well, one of your questions was what inspires you.
Yep.
And you had said, a lot of them said they put their heart and soul, and that stuck in my head. Speaking of heart and soul, one of them that, again, the bonds, the two hands holding hands.
Yes. Dan Belcher.
Dan Belcher. I don't know what his inspiration was, but it really, again, touched my heart, those two hands holding.
And it's interesting, and it's too bad we didn't get to hear the story behind his. I did hear the story behind Benjamin Provenza's
yes, and you
sculptor.
should share that. Why don't you share that?
So bottom line is, Benjamin, if you looked at it, it was a beehive, and it was a face of a man, and it's called Fear. And the reason why it's called Fear is because when Benjamin was 12 years old, he was attacked by a hive of bees and very severely stung by them. And so this was something from his memory, and the fear of that experience drove him to do this. And if you look on the back of it, there's a giant bee.
Oh, I didn't look at the back of it. And again, speaking of the back of these, a lot of 3D type work, I'm going to Haneke.
Yep, Hanukkah Supply, yep.
Yes. Now, hers was the mom, the dad, and the
child. Right.
And it says, never turn your back on the ones you love. And it was an actual 3D, the mom with her back to the dad, with his back to the child. And you actually had to actually walk around the whole sculpture, see the whole three in like a 3D form.
And then we had, we were talking about Pavel Mishnikov, I believe.
Absolutely.
And his was Time Running Out?
Time Running Out. And inside, you had the man with the hand to the face.
On the face was like the, oh my God.
Oh my God. And inside the eye was a clock inside the eye. creative,
Right.
very, very
And
creative.
again,
This is
looking
art.
and again, looking on the back, there was a clock on the back
On
of
the
it.
back was the clock.
The gears.
Yeah, you really had to see the art.
Yeah.
You know, as I said, they were all excellent. Nothing. It had to capture your heart, as we said. Each little piece captured your heart. Nothing was better than anything else because they were all great.
Yeah, they you know, and they are all great. I mean, that's why, you know, these guys, you know, are handpicked because of the quality of the work that they do, the ideas that they come up with, and it's incredible. Sure.
Rusty.
Oh, Rusty's.
Double vision. The eye, a separated eyeball, double vision.
Yeah, and you know, at first I thought, I'm saying, was it bones? What I was trying to figure out, it looked like barbells, and then you start to see it's the nerve of the eye.
And I may be incorrect, even. I mean, maybe it's not what he meant it to be. I don't know. That's my interpretation.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I think it was meant to be that. I remember seeing an interview with him in Meredith earlier this week. And then there was Chris Quinto.
I love Chris's. Spawn of Mendoza. You know, he kept saying to us he was going to do unicorns and sparkle.
Well, I guess, and the inside story of that is according to Chris, this is the start of a trilogy. So within the next couple of weeks, years, I think you'll actually see some other versions of it. We've got a guest coming on board. Come on in.
Come on in. Thank you. Come on in right back.
Great to see you.
Ed DeVoe. Coleman?
Yes, hi. I'm
come in.
sorry.
on in.
Hi, how are you?
All right, welcome, Coleman. And
Thank
tell
you.
us, you're from?
I'm from the Department of Veteran Services.
Oh.
So I'm the Secretary of Veteran Services for Massachusetts.
Forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank
That's
you
okay.
very much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's great.
Yeah, so what do you think?
This is fantastic. I mean,
First
just
time?
all the it's my first time. All the crowds, everyone that's here, plus all the sculptures, especially the Iwo Jima sculpture. I mean, that's just, as a former Marine, that made me, you know, brought a little tear to my eye. So thank you. Yeah. Really, thanks for doing that.
And I think it brought tear to a lot of people's eyes as they were coming by this week. I mean, everybody was just totally amazed and flabbergasted and really enjoyed it.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, Revere is such a veteran-friendly city. I mean, you have a great vet service officer in Nick Boa.
Absolutely.
You know, Ira Novoselsky's been a great friend to veterans and a veteran himself. I mean, you had veterans here from Normandy last night and Iwo Jima. I mean, that's just unbelievable. And you guys are great. And it's not just today. You know, this city's here every day for vets, and we love it.
And the best part of it is that, and I know they had a fundraising box, if you will, set up that people are donating to it, and the funds are all going to the Wounded Veterans
Wounded
campaign.
Warrior program,
Wounded Warrior.
absolutely, yeah,
Great.
absolutely, yeah. And it's, I mean, you know, the fact that people are, you know, we not only honor them by doing the sandcastles, but you really honor their sacrifice by taking care of them and making sure they're supported. It means a lot to those guys.
Always recognizing,
Yeah,
always remembering.
yeah. Thank you.
And it was quite interesting. We were here, you know, off and on throughout the week, and particularly within the last couple of days with the servicemen. I think we have a contingent from the U.S. Army is here helping with the crowd control. Everybody that walks by a soldier here reaches out their hand and says, "Thank you for your service."
You know, that's such an important thing. You can't say that enough. You really can. I mean, you know, those, and the people that are here today, they're from the Massachusetts National Guard. A lot of those Guard members have deployed multiple times, 2, 3 times. They've left their families, they've left their jobs. You know, they put it all on the line, and they're only 1% of our nation. And they defend the rest of us, and we really owe them. You know, it's so important to say thanks to them, not just physically, but you know, the support that you're showing them every day.
Yeah, and not to take away from the work that the people in the regular services do. I mean, the Army, Navy, Air Force, National Guard folks. I mean, they have their day jobs, they have their families, and in my mind, and tell me if I'm wrong, I mean, when those guys are deployed, I mean, that's far more disruptive than the folks who join up and are in for.
Absolutely, absolutely. When you think about it, from active duty side. When you deploy from a big, large base like down in North Carolina or Georgia or somewhere, you've got active duty services, support services. Everybody in that area deploys together. These Guard members deploy from towns, individual cities, their own blocks. You know, their families are out there. You know, people don't know if they're deployed or not. They don't know how to help. And they also, they leave their civilian jobs and they go on military pay. For a lot of these folks, they take a pay cut to do this. And it's really, you know, it's a huge sacrifice, and you know, and I think they want to just be, you know, they do it willingly over and over again. I think all they really want in return is just for this country to recognize that there's a small percentage of them that are out there on the front lines so that we can do this today.
Yeah.
You know,
and of course, with all that going on with the VA and the VA services and stuff like that, and that's always an issue. Hopefully, that's going to get resolved. Things will get better for the returning servicemen and the issues that they're dealing with.
Yeah, really, Massachusetts is really lucky. We have our own veteran service program. Nick is part of that.
Yep.
We don't just back it up with words, we back it up with real dollars. We spend more per capita on our vets than any other state in the nation. And we're the only state that mandates that you have someone like Nick in every city or town of the Commonwealth to provide benefits and services. So we haven't seen as many of the problems that other states have seen, and it's because we take a strong commitment here, and we have for a long time. The VA was started, really traces its lineage back to Lincoln's famous quote, to care for he who was born the battle and his widow and orphan. Well, about 130 years before Lincoln said that, Massachusetts was providing veterans benefits. And, and our heritage and our history goes back, to this gentleman at Lexington and Concord, and we've been taking care of our families since then. We're not going to drop the ball. We don't rely on any other federal agency to do it. These are our people, our sons and daughters, our brothers and sisters, and we're going to make sure they get taken care of by us.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, listen, great job, and thank you so much for being on camera with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for taking the time out.
Happy to do it.
Enjoy the night. Take care. All right, there you have it. What a great job that they're doing. I mean, and it's it's a tough job. There's just so much there, and there are so many problems with the veterans coming back, and they do need the help there.
And we need our politicians to back these guys up.
Yes,
I mean, that's amen.
Yeah, for sure. So getting back to the program, we were talking about Chris Quinto. We talked about Pavel and the face.
Oh, let's grab some of these. Let's
Yeah,
grab some
sure.
of these women.
The snail trail.
Helena. Snail trail.
Okay, yeah.
Helena, Amsterdam, Into the Waves. What was your thought on that? Now, a lot of integral work on that.
Yes.
You actually saw the waves in all the work. Amazing
It's
work.
incredible. And then, as like I said, the snail trail one, and I know you were personally trying to figure that one out a little bit.
Trying to figure it out. The woman, the mermaid, kind of coming out of the
Merging
snail.
out of
And
which I thought was a fish, actually.
I couldn't figure out what it was. I didn't know if it was a fish.
I mean, and it is a beautiful piece, but then again, if you look at it, there's this woman emerging, and she's a beautiful woman. I mean, he carved her very well.
He carved beautiful women.
And then the other part, when you look at some of the detail around there are the little snails running all around it. Did you happen to see those?
Yes, I did. Walter came out with another castle.
Yes.
The long
Amazing Walter.
Amazing Walter and the Long Walk. The Long Walk.
The Long Walk was... Oh, that's what he named the castle.
Yes,
okay, I didn't
Long
see
Walk.
the title.
Yeah, the Long Walk. It looked like there was a long walk leading up around, so I can see where he was going with it. It was kind of a darker castle this year, I thought.
Yeah, well, it was a bigger castle. I mean, and we talked to Walter earlier this week, and you talked to Walter actually. I remember. I watched your interviews. You watched mine, and it feels like we're both there at each other's.
Yeah.
But I do remember him saying, "I do castles."
Yes, he does castles. He does castles, and he said for the children and all of us, and he certainly does for the children.
And the castles are always a crowd pleaser. He did actually get the People's Choice last year, so it'll be interesting to see. And we talked about Joby, Guy Olivier Deveau. I think we talked about him. No, we didn't talk about his piece. Now, Guy is the one that has the full-bodied women.
Yes.
Two of them actually, because they're kind of split back to back, and then there's this piece that goes up, between them, with a head at the top of it. That's quite interesting. I remember doing some research on Guy before the festival, to interview, and he did a similar to body shape, if you will, a full-bodied woman on the beach, completely nude with the cellulite, all of that kind of stuff, and the title was "In the Eye of the Beholder." So it was just a thing where it doesn't matter what shape your body is. If you think you're beautiful, you're beautiful.
Well, I'll go with that. Amen. Okay. All right. crashed and burned.
Yeah, and Marianne.
And Harvard Square, Abe Waterman, Harvard Square. That's a competitor.
Yes.
That's a real competitor.
That is a competitor.
Beautiful,
and I think
beautiful.
we'll come back to some of these afterwards. We're just
Looks
about to
like
break.
we're
Looks
ready
like
to
they're
break.
getting ready for the award show. We're going to find out who the winners are.
And then we'll be back. Thanks.
All right, Revere Beach, you guys getting ready for this night? My name is Brian Malone. I have had the honor from the Revere Beach Partnership of being up here all day yesterday and today and tomorrow. And I can't tell you how much fun I've had meeting so many of the great bands, the sculptors, and just the great people that are involved in the partnership.
At this time, I do need to ask if any sculptors are close to around the stage to please come on up. And we'd also like to invite any active or past military to please come to the front so we can honor you guys as we always need to do. So any active military, retired military, please come up to the front because we would like to honor you guys.
Pretty high.
And we're going to kick this off in about 5 minutes.
Sitting locked up to getting treated like Kwame Cleopatra. And now I'm fantastic. Y'all just got something like it's on the radio and TV. You see me. We free. Y'all bugging out like when you wouldn't staring at a beehive. And how cool is that? I remember signing my first deal. The second best I can do with that. I put on the show is at without the TV awards gag.
All right, Revere Beach, how we doing out there? You guys ready for some fireworks tonight? We've also got Overdrive on the stage at 7 o'clock, so it's going to be a great night. What I need right now is a path cleared for the color guard to come right up front. So anybody that is on the sidewalk outside of our military, present or retired, I need everybody to just take a couple steps back. All right, on behalf of the Revere Beach Partnership, I would like to welcome up Billy Costa. You all know him from Dining Playbook and also the Maddie in the Morning Show on KISS 108. Let's give a Revere Beach welcome to Billy Costa.
Well, now, make some noise, Revere. Let's go. Where's the excitement? The 11th annual National Sand Sculpting Festival. We are under the world spotlight here today. What a beautiful sight as you stand up here on stage. You look right, you look left, you see nothing but a sea of humanity. And America is taking notice of Revere Beach today, and I think it's deserved. How about you? 3 days of food and live entertainment and kids' activities and live music and all kinds of great stuff going on, amusement rides and food trucks. And by the way, how about a round of applause for all the people who have been working for 3 days down here at Revere Beach trying to make this festival better than ever before. As many as 500,000 people are going to be visiting Revere Beach over the course of this week. And I need to remind you, tomorrow, all of the festivities, all of the activities are going to continue. So if you've got family or friends who haven't had a chance to make it down here to the festival, please get on the phones, get on the iPads, get on the telephones, and get everybody down here to Revere Beach tomorrow on the final day of this national festival. Show of hands, how many of you folks have seen the sculptures up front? How amazing are these sand sculptures? And we've got all of the competitors on stage. We're going to be meeting them in just a couple of minutes. Before we do anything else, we've got the color guard standing by. And like every other world-class event, we're going to kick things off with the national anthem. And to sing it, please welcome your friend and mine, great talent, Louis Bello, everybody.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Louis Bello, everybody. Want to thank the color guard from the 26th Maneuver Enhancement Brigade. They are out of Reading, Massachusetts. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your service, and thank you so much for being here. In fact, thanks to all the veterans, all of the active military present here today on Revere Beach. Let's acknowledge them for their service. A festival this amazing, a festival this big, can't be possible without so much work behind the scenes. The festival overall is presented by the Revere Beach Partnership, and I've got the president about to take the microphone. I think he deserves a round of applause. Please welcome John Hamill to the stage.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. This is so exciting for all of us. This is the 11th annual National Sand Sculpting Festival. I can't tell you how excited we all are. Like Billy Costa just said, look to the left, look to the right. There are people everywhere. And I can tell you for sure, with certainty, that we have broken all records. Far greater number of people here than we ever anticipated tonight. So without further ado, I just want to say a couple of quick thank yous. Number one, I wanted to thank my fellow board members, the board members of the Revere Beach Partnership. Many of them are behind us right here. Please join me in giving a round of applause for all their hard work. All of them are volunteers. I'd also like to thank the City of Revere, Mayor Dan Rizzo, and also the city councilors and the school committee. All of the elected officials are so supportive, and honestly, we could not do this without them. We're a nonprofit, but without the city's help, without the DPW, the police department, the fire department, this just would not happen. Please help me thank them with a round of applause as well. And most importantly, I'd also like to thank the servicemen and women, past and present, for their service. And I hope you agree that this wonderful centerpiece sculpture and the tribute of this festival to them is a great tribute to their service and their sacrifices. And I'd like to thank them. And if you can help us also, we're collecting donations for the Wounded Warrior Project. At the base of the centerpiece sculpture, there's a donation box. 100% of those proceeds will go to the Wounded Warriors Project. Please join me in thanking our servicemen. Please clear the way. There's a situation someone's trying to get through. Thank you for clearing the way. And now it's my pleasure to introduce a good friend of mine and our new state representative from the city of Revere, Rose Lee Vincent.
Hi everyone. Welcome to Revere Beach, home of America's first public beach. I hope you all realize that. I would also like to thank Mayor Rizzo and the DCR, the Revere Beach Partnership, for making this event possible. The success of this event is truly a partnership, and I would be remiss if I didn't recognize our fabulous state police. We should give them a hand. And like our president said, we really do need to thank the Revere Police and the fire departments for all their assistance throughout the entire festival. So thank you to them as well. And one group that we never really seem to thank but plays a big role is the Revere DPW. They do yeoman work behind the scenes and before the event even begins. So thank you to the Revere DPW. But without the generous donations of our sponsors, this event would not be possible. So to all the sponsors who donated all the money that it takes to put an event like this on, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And finally, thanks Thanks to the talents of standing ovations, this event Thanks to the talents of standing ovations, this event gets better and better every year. But most of all, thank you to the amazing world-class sculptors who come to our great city every year and put these beautiful works of art on our beautiful shore. So thank you all very much. Have a wonderful weekend and continue enjoying these sculptures. Thank you. Bye.
How about it for Rose Lee, everybody? Nice round of applause, Rose Lee! Woo, woo, woo. I think it was kind of cool, kind of interesting that just as John Hamill was acknowledging the police and the fire, we saw them at work. It's an incredible thing, and it's not an easy task when you have a crowd this size and an event this successful. It's an amazing task to pull off. So again, a thank you to them. And it's such an honor to look down at the color guard, the honor guard, and also see some of our veterans gathered down here in front of the stage. Once again, we want to acknowledge them. Some of our active military in the crowd, as well as our veterans. After all, the theme here this year is Stars and Stripes in Sand. And again, we can't stress enough, if you haven't seen the sculptures, make sure you check those out, but definitely make sure you check out the tribute to our armed services down on the beach. This is an incredible theme to have, especially with some of the stuff that's going on around the world right now. Okay, speaking of which, please welcome the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Coleman Nee, is here with us.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for coming. I really want to thank the Revere Beach Partnership. The beach looks great. Thank you so much. I want to thank the mayor, the city councilors, including Ira Novoselsky, who's a fellow vet and past national commander of the Jewish War Veterans. I want to thank Representative Vincent. Thank you for having us here, as well as former Representative Reinstein, who's been great as well. Most importantly, I want to thank those veterans that are looking at me right now, those World War II vets, those Korean War vets, our Vietnam vets, Desert Storm vets, and our Iraq and Afghanistan veterans. Thank you. You folks really were the greatest generation, and I assure you right now, these young men and women that are standing here at attention, you're looking at the next greatest generation, our Massachusetts National Guard and our veterans. I'd also like to make special mention, please, of the fastest growing segment of our veterans population are our women vets. And this year, as we do every year, we present the Deborah Sampson Award to the outstanding woman veteran here in Massachusetts. And this year, it's a Revere native, a World War II Army veteran, Eileen Marullo. Eileen, thank you so much. Oh, Eileen, thank you. If you haven't talked to Eileen, I was there when we presented her award. And if you haven't talked to her, I can tell you she has some great stories. So, to all the sculptors that are here today, thank you. We looked at your amazing work, particularly the Iwo Jima statue with the dog tags on it. I know you had some Normandy and some Iwo Jima vets here last night. Brought a tear to their eyes and brought a tear to a lot of our eyes as well. And can't thank you enough for honoring them. And I hope just all remember, as we're enjoying our freedom here today, we're enjoying a great time. There are still young men and women sitting in Afghanistan and other dangerous places, ensuring that we can do this here tonight. So please remember them, have fun, God bless you, and thank you to the city of Revere.
Coleman Nee, everybody. Secretary of Veterans Affairs. He mentioned Eileen very briefly. I'll talk more in detail about Eileen in a couple of minutes. First of all, I would like to excuse the color guard. Gentlemen, thank you so much, and give them a nice round of applause. Thank you so much, gentlemen. All right, I really need your attention here because, as I mentioned, the theme is Stars and Stripes in Sand, as acknowledged on the beach here this year. And we're going to honor three different people, and I'll tell you their stories. I know John mentioned Eileen a couple of seconds ago, and now I get to talk about Eileen. In the course of her service, Ms. Murillo invented a pronation and supination device, and what it did was speed the recovery of wounded veterans. She waived her rights to patent this. Instead, she gave ownership to the Chelsea Naval Hospital. Eileen was singularly responsible for the establishment of the World War II Women's Memorial, which, by the way, now stands proudly on the Legion lawn amid other memorials to Revere's heroes. Conflicts from the Indian Wars to Iraq and to Afghanistan. She was honored with a medal named for Deborah Sampson, a veteran of the Revolutionary War, as the Massachusetts woman veteran who best exemplifies the ingenuity, perseverance, and spirit of America's first female veteran. Let's hear it for Eileen Murillo. Another honoree here this evening, Steve Leone, served 3 tours of duty in Afghanistan and has been in the military since 1978, saying he knew he wanted to be a soldier ever since he played with G.I. Joe toys. He was awarded the Army Commendation Medal with a V and the Purple Heart, and so many other citations. During Steve's last tour in 2011, he was injured while stopping the attack of 5 suicide bombers on a very sleepy military camp near Kabul, Afghanistan. He recalled there were 8,700 soldiers behind us, and they were all sleeping in the middle of the night. So we figured it was going to be our time to die because we weren't going to let them get to those 8,700 sleeping soldiers. My partner got hit, and I said to him, just keep shooting, because if they get by us, it's all over. I got blown up, but we did stop them. So thank you to Steve for his courage and for his service. Steve Leon. Wow. Another story tonight. While on a patrol in August of 2008, Silvestri and his patrol spread out halfway up a mountain in Afghanistan. As the sun broke over the mountains, the patrol had stumbled into a kill zone. It was under fire from 3 different sides. Farther up the trail, 10 allied Afghan soldiers and their Marine Corps advisor were also trapped. The patrol couldn't pull back to safety, so someone would have to cover their withdrawal. Silvestri sucked in a breath, ran toward the gunfire. I didn't do it thinking I'm going to get an award for this, Silvestri says. I did it because my life was on the line, my battle buddies' lives were on the line, and we weren't going to die out there. It was either fight your way out of here or fight and die. But you're fighting no matter what. 2 hours after it started, the firefight was over. Silvestri had shot 650 rounds as he moved up and down the mountainside. Despite the volume of fire coming from the enemy, no coalition troops were injured during this ambush. 2 months later, Silvestri earned a Purple Heart when a rocket-propelled grenade blew up next to him as he slept, peppering his legs with shrapnel. Please welcome and honor Mark Silvestri. Can I get, all 3 honorees, please, for a picture? Photo op. Rose Lee, John Hamill, Coleman Nee, group shot. Once again, nice round of applause for all 3 honorees. And now it's time for the awards. It's time to meet the sculptors from all over the country and all over the world. Once again, a round of applause for the entire group for working so hard and making Revere Beach so proud. In 2014, the 11th annual National Sand Sculpting Competition. Here we go. First, we want to welcome the coordinator of the event, Meredith Corson. Come right out front, Meredith. The tech crew for the event, Ben Doubleday and Rob Caspio. Don't forget, we had sculpting lessons going on for the past 3 days, and it will continue tomorrow down here on Revere Beach. And giving the lessons and carving logos in the sand, we've got Sandy Castle and Raymond Poirier. Couldn't have a better name. If you work with sand, your name has to be Sandy. I love it. And also carving logos in the sand, we've got Morgan Rudliff and Deb Cutul. Did I say it right, Deb? I did? Wow. Nailed it. All righty. Now we'll meet the competitors. As I call your name, just take a step forward and raise your hand and be acknowledged, and I'll get out of the way. First up, Abe Waterman. Abe Waterman, step forward. Juheng Tan. Juheng Tan. Marianne Vandenbroek. Marianne Vandenbroek. Soft hands. Dan Belcher. Big Dan Belcher. Pavel Milnikov. Jonathan Joby Bouchard. Joby. Hanukkah Supply. Hanukkah. Mr. Dan Doubleday. Melanage Beauregard. Get that one right? Pretty close. Bonjour. Chris Guinto. Chris Guinto. Mr. Oliver Duveau. Give it up for Rusty Croft. Rusty. Mr. Benjamin Probanza. And Helena Bengert. Helena. The lovely Helena in the sand. And the amazing Walter McDonald. Mr. Sandman himself. And now the winners. Obviously, they're all winners. They're here. This is a national competition. This is a world-class event. Stars and Stripes in Sand, the theme here in 2014. The military definitely represented, and we're proud to have all of them. And now the winners at this year's event, starting with the People's Choice Award. And the People's Choice Award 2014 will go to Pavel Milnikov. Pavel Milnikov, your People's Choice. And as we continue the photos here, the photo op, Sculptor's Choice. This is a big one. This means they've got respect. They've got the command of respect of all the other sculptors, their colleagues. Sculptor's Choice 2014, Rusty Croft. Rusty Croft. Rusty's eating it up. Please make way for the fire department, please, and the medical staff. Please make a lane for the fire department making its way through. And now in fourth place. Fourth place this year will go to Mélange Beauregard. Mélange Beauregard, fourth place. And now the tension builds. Third place this year at the National Festival on Revere Beach will go to Dan Doubleday. Dan Doubleday. Big Dan Doubleday, third place. Oh, Dan, what was your sculpture? What? Snail Trail. Thank you for asking. Pavel, which was yours? Which sculpture was yours, Pavel? What was that? Time is running out was Pavel's, the People's Choice. And Rusty, what was yours? The big eyeball. Double vision. Second place. Actually, oh, Mélange, what was your sculpture? Eternal Love, of course. Now, I would announce second place, but I have to tell you that there was a tie at the top. Could have been the first time ever we went to the tiebreaker. And I'm not kidding. There was a tiebreaker, and I said, so what was the tiebreaker all about? How'd that work out? Apparently it came down to wow factor, and the judges had to decide by wow factor. And having said that, second place, only because of the tiebreaker, will go to Jonathan Joby Bouchard. Out of a tiebreaker. Joby, which was yours? The robot. Joby had the robot. The famous Joby. Any chance I can get a drum roll? Joby, by the way, a four-time winner. Had to settle for runner-up, and it couldn't be closer this year, a tiebreaker. I don't think it's happened before. Has it happened before, Caitlin? No, it has not. First time ever. History made here on Revere Beach. Joby gets the runner-up second place, which means there's only one name left. The winner. More drum roll. Winner of this year's National Sandcastle Competition here on Revere Beach, the 11th annual. And your winner is Rusty Cross! Crowd goes wild. Crowd goes wild. Rusty Croft, your winner, 2014 National Sandcastle Competition. Days of work and labor for all of these sculptors. Make some noise. We may have created a new rivalry in Sandcastle. Congratulations to each and every competitor. We can only ask, in fact, we will beg if we have to, please come back next year for the 12th annual. And again, we cannot thank enough our service members and members of our active military, our veterans gathered here this evening on Revere Beach. We acknowledge we celebrate, we honor each and every one of you for your service, both past and present, and we're thrilled that you're a part of Sands and Stripes in Sand here on Revere Beach. Rusty, what was yours? The eyeball, right? He had the eyeball. Double vision. That's your winner here on Revere Beach. And if I can get all the winners lined up right up front for a photo op, all winners, please. People's Choice, Sculptor's Choice, 4th place, 3rd place, 2nd place, 1st. All winners, please. Front and center. In 2 minutes, we've got live music. Overdrive is standing by.
Just a second to do the camera thing. Thank you. All right. Are we good here? All right. Good. Okay. So what'd you think, Deb?
I am in shock. I am in shock, I think.
I think we're all kind of shocked. I didn't see that one coming.
I didn't see that one coming either, but I'm very happy for Rusty. Rusty Croft is the Sculptor's Choice and
the first place.
And the first place.
You know, I think one goes with the other when you think about it.
Absolutely, and I'm very happy for Joby, 2nd place. That is a shock as well. Now he is now a runner-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least you know that they know that somebody can knock Joby off.
Right. It's not fixed.
And I was happy to see 4th place, Melanage Beauregard. That was one of my
As
favorites.
we said before,
it
I
was
think
just
you know
like
there's
to
the
the heart.
fireworks
And that's she's a
9
newcomer,
o'clock here
so
on
this
Revere
is
Beach
nice to see a
celebrate the
newcomer.
festival. But
Yes,
we've got live
exactly.
music, and this is a big story.
And
It's a big
then, of
event.
course, Dan Doubleday
It needs a big act.
Yes. Okay.
Now,
this is it coming
band
from
I'm about to
Revere Beach.
introduce
This
will
is it
track
for
them
this
down.
year.
So for
Thank
the
you.
11th
Cabo San Lucas
annual
yesterday.
Sand Sculpting
They were
Festival, till
performing
we
at a
meet
private
again,
party for
take
Jennifer
care.
Here.
We let them know we needed them on Revere Beach. They hopped a private jet, they came in, and we've got them for your entertainment pleasure. Please give it up for Overdrive.